Who doesn't love Pikmin? They're adorable little creatures who get brainwashed by Olimar into destroying their local wildlife and stealing its precious treasures. Okay, that's a dark interpretation of the game, but the point is Pikmin is awesome. And in today's episode of Gaming Gallery, we'll be discussing the beta of the first game because that's the point of the whole series. I'm also Pancake Armor Man. Hey everybody! Pikmin started off as a very different game. In fact, it was originally a Mario game. This game was Super Mario 128, a proposed sequel to the N64 classic Super Mario 64. There'll be a card on screen taking you to another video where we go into more detail about that game, but a majority of this game's early development was all around experimentation. One of these experiments involved a game called Adam and Eve. Players would watch the population of a village grow and evolve over time, but Nintendo ran into a problem when they couldn't figure out what the game's end goal would be. Miyamoto also felt that Adam and Eve wasn't interactive enough and worried that players would grow bored over time. One remnant of Adam and Eve that carried over into Pikmin were the Bulborbs, who were originally envisioned as mammoth-like animals. Widely known about the Pikmin series is that each type of Pikmin has their own special ability, but in the early stages of development there were planned to be even more. These unused icons in the game's code suggest that all Pikmin would have been able to carry bomb rocks. Electrical hazards would plan to appear in the first game, with yellow Pikmin being immune to them. Miyamoto felt these hazards didn't fit in the game's natural settings, and removed the hazards. However, this left yellow Pikmin with only having the attribute of being thrown higher. So in the final game, only yellow Pikmin are able to throw bomb rocks. Electrical hazards would make their debut in Pikmin 2, and bomb rocks being carried by everybody would appear in Pikmin 3, making yellow Pikmin very useless in a lot of people's opinion, not really my opinion. That wasn't in the script, but whatever. There are also some unused maps in the game's code. These include early versions of areas, something used for one of the game's trailers, and some fancy test maps used for testing. But by far the most interesting one is Tutu 2. 222 seems to be an unused tutorial stage for multiplayer mode, but no such mode ever made it into the final game. Multiplayer did make an appearance in Pikmin 2, just not in the main story. Another interesting map is called Anime Test. Anim Test. Oh god, I'm doing terrible at this. The map was used to test character animations during development. Now, let's go over some unused enemies. The first one is called Iwagan. This enemy has no HP program, so it's technically an obstacle. Iwagan will fire boulders at you, similar to the armored cannon beetle, but its appearance more closely resembles a withering blowhog from Pikmin 2. The Iwagan can be found in some of the game's unused maps. Another unused enemy is, and I'm sorry if I pronounced this wrong, the Usuba, which roughly translates as Antlion. Trying to hack this enemy into the game, even in Anime Test, will crash the game. This enemy's code suggests it would have had 5,000 HP, the highest in the game. Different sources say different things about its relationship with the Smoky Prog enemies. Some claim it could summon Smoky Progs, others say it would spawn in the area where Smoky Progs appeared. As for this last enemy we'll go over, well, not much is known about it except for what was mentioned in an interview. I know, exciting. In an interview for a 2001 Pikmin guidebook, the game's engine developer Colin Reed confirmed that at one point during development, there was an enemy that was planned for the game that would have a Pikmin leg dangling from its mouth after eating a Pikmin. Pretty disturbing, but awesome, which is why it was removed. It was removed because it was awesome. There's also some unused journal entries in the game's code. We'll have them all displayed on screen at some point during this video, but I'll read you most of the interesting ones. I have finally recovered all 30 parts of my ship, and succeeded in escaping this strange world. To think all the times I almost gave up hope. On the now distant surface, the brave Pikmin that aided me in my perilous quest are running about as if I have never come. Will our paths ever cross again? At any rate, I can finally return to my home world. I feel relief, of course, but also a certain sadness. I can't exactly say. Perhaps I am just thinking of the long journey for space, and that still lies before me. This time, I shall set my ship's navigation system so that I encounter no more meteors, and I shall enjoy a long, relaxing sleep. I shan't forget about you, Pikmin. This message would have appeared after completing the game 100%. However, collecting the final ship part triggers the end of the game, so this journal entry cannot be seen in normal gameplay. The Pikmin went through some different design phases throughout the development. Pikmin were originally black, with different shapes and sizes, making them distinguishable. However, their colors were changed in the final game to more essentially recognize them from a distance. There was also some debate over whether to be able to control 20 or 100 Pikmin. A smaller number meant that they could program more advanced AI for individual Pikmin. The final number ended up becoming 100 Pikmin, although it's worth mentioning that the idea of only having 20 would appear in Hey Pikmin! There was also an idea of Olimar having favorite individual Pikmin, or some Pikmin outright not listening to Olimar. These were dropped to help simplify the game. Miyamoto did comment that the reason Pikmin AI wasn't too great in the first game was because that the Pikmin didn't trust Olimar yet, so a remnant of this idea did make it into the final game. Early trailers show some interesting differences with the final game. These include different sounds for the Pikmin that the Pikmin would make. The HUD is different, Wollywogs still suck. Pikmin can be seen carrying a strawberry. The puff still appears in the forest of puff. Wollywogs still suck. Some walls that can only be destroyed with bomb rocks seem to be destroyed normally, and Wollywogs still suck. By far, the most noteworthy change is that Olimar could have plucked Pikmin with the whistle, which begs the question, why would they remove that from the game? It takes you forever to pluck Pikmin! Why did you remove it? This feature would appear with the Pluck-a-Phone item in Pikmin 2, but not for Pikmin 3 for some reason. Actually, I can understand, because it was actually easier to pluck Pikmin in Pikmin 3 with the free captains. Of course, that wasn't in the script. I'm going off key again, and I should probably stop, breaking the fourth wall here by mentioning the script, but whatever. One last thing worth mentioning is that some leftovers from Super Mario 128 could be found in Pikmin's code. There's a key and a door. A Goomba was found labeled Karibo. What's worth mentioning is that this Goomba resembles an unused design from Super Mario Sunshine. Mario was also found in the game's code. Compared to the rest of the game's objects, Mario is ginormous. That's all for today, so thank you all for watching this episode of the Gaming Gallery. If you want more gaming trivia, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Me and Later2U are currently in a bet. If we can reach 100 subscribers by December 1st, Later2U will live stream a 100% blind playthrough of Paper Mario Sticker Star, and I'll play Tokyo Mirage Sessions. If you want to hear more of my voice, there's a link to my Earthbound Let's Play on screen. Some enemies in the game, actually, they kind of do look like something that come from Pikmin. Thank you all for watching, and remember that in our hearts, we are gamers.